So guys, if you are looking for a candidate who has been very consistent in what he says, I want you to look towards Peter Obi. Peter Obi has been very, very consistent right from the time he declared his intention to contest for this presidential position. Peter Obi has really been very, very consistent. And honestly, he has made his agenda very, very clear to the Nigerian people that he's going to move this economy from a consumption economy to a productive economy. He has promised to stop the sharing formula. He has promised to stop corruption. Honestly, he's telling us that the vast landmass in the north is the new oil. Honestly, he's telling us that the vast landmass in the north is the new oil and that he's going to transform every aspect of the Nigerian economy so that we can start attracting investors. You know, he wants to build that environment that investors can trust and believe in for them to come and put in their money. I want you to listen to this speech that Peter Obi gave, and I tell you, you will get to understand everything about what Peter Obi is standing for and what his ideology is and what he's promising the Nigerian people. And in case you have not made up your mind on who to vote for, I tell you, if we miss the opportunity of voting in Peter Obi in 2023, honestly, Nigeria might end up not getting it right again. So guys, let me allow you listen to what Peter Obi said in this speech. And honestly, you are going to stand firm for Peter Obi. And you are going to be the one to pass this information to other people to convince them on the essence of we voting rightly in this 2023 election. We can't afford to miss this opportunity. We can't afford to miss this opportunity. Let me just allow you listen to what Peter Obi got to say. And honestly, you will not regret standing for Peter Obi. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and families. Thank you.
We're not trying to run the usual politics where somebody is campaigning to be president or to be governor, or to be anything. We're trying to bring a change in a collapsed system. And when we bring a change, bring a true change, a change that is committed, where all of you and everybody is involved. We want to take back our country. We believe that today our country is not governed or served by people who believe in the country. I've been going about, you are the 6th stop. I have touring various cities from Germany to Toronto to everywhere. You are the 6th one. Everywhere I go and see huge number of Nigerians. The question is, who is remaining in Nigeria? Those who are remaining are probably those who couldn't get out. And as I go about, I ask myself a question. And I look around and ask myself, what makes this place better than Nigeria? We have free market, actually. We have very strong free market policies. We have better weather. We have better environment. We have better food. Everything, we're family, we're better people, I can tell you. You can be hungry in Nigeria and your neighbor can give you food. If you're hungry in America, nobody's going to give you food. So we have everything So what is wrong? How did we get to a stage where today nobody wants to go back there? How did we get to a stage where we have millions of people in a country that is so blessed with everything hungry? How do we get to where the place has become one of the worst places when you talk about terrorism, kidnapping, all forms of criminality? How did we get where, if you refer people who are unemployed in the world, we're there? What happened? This is a country. In the 80s, most of you went to school in Nigeria, and I'm proud to say you're Nigerian. In the 80s, you cannot compare Nigeria with China, with Korea, with all these countries. We had 3 times the reserve of China. Today, I have 3 trillion. These are countries that we cannot compare us with. People used to come from Saudi and everything to patronize our teaching hospitals and everything. So how did we get here? Indians were all over the place. In Nigeria, teachers, Philippines and everything. Today, we are going to India. We want to just escape to anywhere, no matter where it is. How did we get here? All you are seeing in Nigeria today is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. The only thing that Nigeria lacked is leadership. And that is the leadership that brought us where we now have the highest number of people living in poverty in the surface of the earth. Where we now have the highest unemployment. Where we now live in fear of insecurity. And we don't know where. And some of you who are lucky to be here, as those said, are faced with double tragedy. I will explain it to you. So what are we trying to do? Is what part I've explained to you. Ours is that we can take this place back. We can fix it. This looks difficult. Countries have gone through this. It's mentioned to you about what happened in India. It happened in Brazil or South America. We're in a total mess a few years ago. All they needed was have people who are prepared to sacrifice and say, we can change here. We can fix it. And it can happen. We have the people. We're assembling it as a team. We don't want somebody to go in and say, oh, I'm Mr. Obi, I'm president. It's time for everybody to remove all those. When the MC was announcing, he was trying to call everybody honorable. MC, we're trying to remove all those titles. We want to remove the fire. We don't want to call people excellence again in Nigeria, because there's nothing excellent there again. We don't want people to be distinguished. When I came in here, like I said to every other place I've been, I saw people, but I noticed that maybe it wasn't you people, because I'm not happy. And I thank people of Sadia that we're doing this in a church. That's actually where we should be now. So wherever I go, they've been trying to celebrate or sing, and I said, no more celebration in Nigeria. It is time for us to get to work and fix the country. The potentialities are there. It's going to be difficult. Extremely difficult. Let nobody kid you. The next government is not going to be easy. It is going to be difficult. Very, very difficult, because your country is bankrupt. It doesn't have resources again. If you listen to next year's budget, it will frighten you. Somebody asked me this morning, that everybody's been asking, Peter, how do you think this will work? How do you have a situation where, just to give you an example, the first 4 months of this year, January to April 30th, our revenue is 1,063 billion naira. But our expenditure within the same period was 4,720 billion. So if you minus, the deficit is 3.1 trillion. So how does a business that spends 3 times its revenue survive? How are you going to do it? That's what everybody's been asking. Peter, do you think this can survive? My answer is very difficult, but the business can survive. It can survive with borrowing money. Our next year budget is going to be about 18 trillion, and we're going to borrow 11. Again, the question is, how is this business going to survive? And I told somebody earlier this morning, I said to him, the business will survive. Businesses have come back from bankruptcy, even in America. What it needs is that it needs competent managers who have the capacity and vision to run it, and can understand that it will no longer run the way it's been running. Managers that can understand that this is time to shut down the cost. Managers that understand that you can no longer continue the consumptive way the country is going. The country must go into production. People who understand that you can no longer borrow money for consumption. You borrow money for investment. That is the only way you can come back alive. And that's what we need. But to do that requires a lot. Prof, I've told you about foreign investor. That is my main topic with you who are here. Why am I going around talking to you, pleading with you? One is that you're the main and number one and most important foreign investor the country requires. Nobody, no foreigner can come and invest in Nigeria unless you come and invest. And you are investing to save yourself. Because what are you doing today? Your case is a double whammy. You've run away because you think things are bad. That's why you are here. You didn't come here because you want to be here. At least 70% of you. You came because you ran away. But what is even worse for you? You ran away and you are not in a problem. Because here you are working very hard and you can't live in peace because the people you left behind, you have to take care of them. So you have a crisis. Because if you are left on your own, it would have been better. But now, for every 10 calls you receive, it's 10 problems, if not 11. And you can't say no. Because even if you hate them, you will not sleep. Remembering that they are there. They're hungry. You become everything. You are the funeral director. If anybody dies, you have to come and bury the person. You are a doctor. You are a nurse. Because everybody that is sick is looking for you. So they turn into everything. At that stage, you don't even have peace. So your problem is more. So you have a duty. If you fix there and it's working, then you reduce your own pressure. So you owe a duty to fix there. If you fix there and make that place productive, what do? You become richer. Today, Pastor told you, I know that for sure. I lived in the UK for 10 years. My neighbor, I live in my farmhouse. I live in number 66. My neighbor was in 64. Because things started working well in his country, in India, he went there and built a factory. The factory employed people from his area. They were producing, they were being paid salary, and he was exporting the goods to the UK and making more money. All these tech companies you see in India, those who started them started from here. So in their own case, they were investing, they're making money, they became richer. In your own case, you're throwing money because you're not a welfare officer who is throwing his money there and you're not getting anything. So you're becoming poorer and the other people are not doing anything because they're not producing anything. So you're going to live your life and die doing welfare. No. If you have the place to work and it becomes productive, you are the first people who are going to come without your resources. That's what my neighbor did. He borrowed money from UK, mortgaged his house, took the money and built a factory. But you know today, everything you take back there is gone. No return. Nothing. Have you ever taken anything back and you saw any return? No. More complaint will come. In fact, before that one reach, they sent the new batch of wine you need to attend to. You can't even go back because of insecurity. Now people bury by Zoom. I've gone to burial recently. The children are talking to us in Zoom. It's only people like me that were there. So you see the crisis you face. So you must fix there. Because the problem of there is just leadership. Simple. Nothing else. Not anybody tell you, oh, there's a problem with Nigeria. There's no problem with Nigeria. Problem with Nigeria is that you hired incompetent people who don't have any capacity to do anything. So all they do is tell you in schools, tell you a story. There's nothing in securing a place. It's either you have a state or you don't have a state. You can't have non-state actors be more powerful than state. It's not possible. You can't have a state where they now tell you that people are stealing Nigerian oil. Oil is not something you put in your pocket. It's not a grocery thing. For you to steal oil, it has to be through ship. The ship have to come into your waters. Navy have to approve for ship to come into your waters. Because you have a navy. So it is being stolen by the same people. That's what Pat was trying to tell you. Those structures they tell you people we don't have is structure of criminality. It is that structure that I want to remove. Because that structure is structure that made it. So it's simple. There's no reason anybody. So anybody who tell you insecurity is this. Yes. Everybody knows that the more you pull people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. The more you equip your police and everything, I said, everybody knows that. It is important. Structure that makes it impossible that you can't invest in human capital development. Everybody knows that the more you invest in education of your people, the more money you make. Nigeria have enough population. Somebody got up here and said, oh, we now get from diaspora remittances about 20 billion or 30 billion or 20 something billion. No, I want it to be 50 billion. We will do like other countries where we educate our people and have a ministry that ensure how they even leave the country in an organized manner. And they remit money because we have the population. We have everything. We have a country with vast land, vast cultivated land, and people are begging for food. It does not happen anywhere in the world, only in Nigeria. We have millions of people that are not contributing anything except disturbing you. People are stealing our commonwealth without conscience. And like I saw some of you are equally supporting them. And that's true. I was governor. I used to visit here in America. And when I come, they say, this man has bought a house here. This governor has, the other one has bought a house here. This one has bought a house here. You can buy your own here. You can do this. And I ask them, why would people own a house in America? Do I live in America? What type of madness is that? And all of you know that at the time you are advising this man, he never owned a house like I'm here now. I don't own anything in America. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you know that when this man was going around preaching and telling you people, he did not own a house. And suddenly when he now becomes president, he comes and buys it. And you people, some of you will even say he's doing housewarming. Some of you will even come and pray for him. When you know the exact thing to do, that they have to call police and tell him this man has stolen our money. Because you know where the money came from. It was your money. The man didn't own it at the time he was telling you. Now he will start telling you, that I used to have money. So why didn't you buy it before? Why now? These are things we must. Let nobody tell you fighting corruption is not a problem. We cannot collectively. So when I say the leaders are incompetent, I also question the insane complacency of the followers. Because they just stay and allow people to celebrate. Everywhere I've been in the past 4 days, I've asked people and tell them my experience of traveling to America, going to this and everything, that I asked the people in the plane when I was traveling. I said, I had 2 Nigerians with me, and I asked them one question: why are we in this plane? Why did we follow this pilot? Did you people know where he came from? Everybody answered me, no. So why did we enter the plane? Thank you. Because we believe he's qualified to fly the plane. That was the reason why none of us knew the pilot. And I gave him another example, which I gave yesterday in Houston, that I once wanted to go and study in East Africa how education works. And because I was every other airline was exorbitant, I decided to find one that is cheaper. And I saw Air Rwanda. And then I bought the ticket of Air Rwanda. I never flown them before. And then when I go home, my wife said to me, Peter, have you flown Air Rwanda before? I said, no. He said, Peter, I can't understand you. You just go and buy a ticket of the people, airline you don't know about, you don't know where they're coming from. I say, I'm sure the people there are pilots. They can't put plane on the air if they're not pilots, because they don't want to die. So I'll follow them. Whatever happens, they will all die, including the pilot. But what happened? I said to them, when I arrived at the airport, everyone had a brand new Airbus aircraft. And I was saying to myself, fantastic. And I got in there, only about 3 of us in the business class. And then when the plane took off, somebody came out of there and said, I'm the captain. My governor, good afternoon. And I said, so who are you? He said, there's 2 of us here. The pilot and the co-pilot were Nigerians. But because they have no one to, Nigeria doesn't have the one they can fly. They started flying the other one. If they were Nigerians, they would have said whether they came from north or east or west or central before they put them in the cockpit. That's why the other one failed. They didn't. And I can't go on and on. My dear people, you have a duty. You can reduce your cost. And the way to reduce your cost is to be involved in this change that we're doing. Everybody. That's what I'm doing. That's what Professor Tommy is doing. I tell him every day, you're going around, you're a professor of political economy. This will be your last teaching if this one fails. Because nobody will ever listen to you again. So that's why we're getting people, more and more people, and saying, let's come together and fix this place. Let's come together and fix it. It is difficult, it's doable. All we are saying is that it's not going to change overnight. But we want people that can come and say, we are moving from point A to B. When they get to B, they stop. Somebody comes and moves from B to C. We're not asking too much. And this is doable everywhere. In 20 years, Nigeria can generate more than 4,000 megawatts of electricity. Tell me what is that in generating power. We used to have pipe-borne water even in the streets. We used to have electricity. They used to take like 2 hours and people were shouting. 2 hours, 3 hours. Now it's become days. You are the one saying, and you're still sending money. That is why you spend less of that money, let's change them. Otherwise, it will be forever. Now it's become weeks for nothing. What is that? Nigeria is a country of 200 million people. The biggest country in Africa. The most important country in Africa. With people like you, everywhere you go on the surface of the earth, you see Nigeria playing the role of being an expert, role of being one of the best. The only place that is not working is Nigeria. So the biggest country with 200 million people, generating 4,000 megawatts of electricity, generating and distributing, and every day all you hear, power grid fail, this one fail. In every other country, you just go in and put your switch. You don't even know which is power company. Don't know. Nigeria is one story of the other. The second biggest country in Africa is South Africa in terms of economy. 60 million people. They are generating and transmitting and distributing about 50,000 megawatts. And we are doing 4. In the past 3 weeks, South African government had declared emergency in power. You can go and Google it. They declared emergency because they said the power is not enough, it's affecting production, it's affecting this. So they've now said anybody can generate power up to 100 megawatts without license. So somebody who is generating about 50,000 have declared emergency. And somebody who is generating 4 have not even declared anything. When he should have done, what he would have done now is not to declare emergency, but I don't know what he would have declared. Maybe only God knows what he would have declared. But he has not declared anything. It's still normal. Countries have declared war on criminality. Nigeria has not done that because it was not necessary. You don't have a situation where kidnappers kidnap people in this time and age, take them to the bush, stay there with 1 month, feeding them, phoning their family to come and bring money. Often a time, if the person is sick, they even allow somebody, doctor, to come and treat the person and go back. But the police don't know where they are. The only person who don't know where they are is police. But doctors know where they are. To go and treat the person if he's sick. So they wait. At this time and age that if you call phone anywhere, everybody know where you are. They are using phone, they are negotiating with the families. And the families are telling people, police, that they called this morning, but they don't know where they are. These are the confusions we want to stop. This is what we want to stop. We want to stop people from stealing public money. They will tell you, no, you can't stop corruption. And nonsense. We know those who took the money. It's very easy. The easiest thing you can fight is corruption. We have all sorts of things. We want to cut down the cost of governance. It is totally unacceptable. You make Peter be governor, he becomes the richest person in the state. In any country where politicians or those in government are richer than business people, the place is failed. Professors in university are on strike. Nobody is negotiating with them. We are negotiating with bandits. Corruption kills three things a society lives. It kills entrepreneurship. It kills professionalism and hard work. You're negotiating with bandits, but you can't sit down with university professors and you want them to continue to do research and be able to find solutions to what is happening in society. Why don't I become a bandit and negotiate with government? That is the crisis you face. So, my dear people, with you, we can solve this. That's why I said no celebration, no title, no award. I'm going to places like when I went to California, they say award. I said, no award. Every award now will wait till after government. We know whether the person is qualified to be awarded anything or not. Not when you are in office. Because we have heard this type of story before, where people come and tell us glossy stories and then do the opposite. But remember what I said, and what I'm going to tell you people now is that they must come direct and tell you. Because what they do is to send proses. And when you ask them, you said so. You say, no, it was this person who said. No. We're about 18 of us now contesting to be president. Don't think it's only Peter Obi. You must listen to all of us. Let nobody send anybody to come and meet you. Let them come personally. Say who they are. So that as they are talking, you go and look at their past. Check their name, their age, their school they went, everything. So nobody should come here and tell you, I'm sending this person. No. You must go and look at the place where they passed before. And be able to say, he can do this work, or he cannot do it. Because we now have a situation where, if you say, oh, it's that, people shout every day and say, what are you going to do? Because I've listened to the questions you ask. What are you going to do about rate of exchange? What are you going to do about Naira? Naira used to be 1 Naira. Some of you left Nigeria when Naira was, when it was 67 kobo. When dollar was 67 kobo. Some of you left when it was 1 Naira to $1. Some left when it was 2. Some left when it was 10. When it was 20. Today is about 700. And people said, how are you going to solve it? It is very easy. The only way to do that is to take the country from consumption to production. If you produce goods and export, if you produce goods today and export, you stabilize the Naira and the rate will continue to adjust. It's a simple thing. If you produce goods and export, I hear you raising your hand, we'll talk about it, you continue to manage your own. It's a simple thing. And I can give you examples of countries that have done that. Because mine is a very simple thing, is to say, ABCD country has done it. I'm a trader. And I know that the more goods you sell and have a better balance of trade, and you earn more dollar. The problem Nigeria have today, why the dollar is failing, is that we no longer earn dollars. We no longer have dollar resources. If we have dollar resources today, you continue to stabilize and the rates. That's it. Every other thing can be, but this is the basic thing you need to do. That is what you even need to do to make your economy work. Nigeria is 200 million people where there's no production. There's no production. If you look at that, go and check our export in 2021. A country of 200 million people. living on 923,000 square kilometers of land. Our total export is 18 trillion 900 billion naira, including the famous oil. That's what we earned. If you divide it by official rate, which people in government use, is 47 billion naira. If you divide it by my own rate, which is what I believe is official, because their own, I only hear it, it is about 30 billion. They can argue anything. For 200 million people, no. Because we have small countries. We have other countries who are doing the same thing. Vietnam is 100 million, which is half of our population. They live on 331,000 square kilometers of land, which is just a quarter of us. Their total export last year was $312 billion. So we didn't even do 10% of what they did by my own rate. And what they exported were manufactured goods. Electronics, 50-something. They did clothing, 30-something billion. And you can go on and on. Footwear. If you go into shops everywhere now, all you're seeing clothing made in Vietnam, made in Bangladesh, everywhere but not Nigeria. What is it making clothes? There's any rocket science in making clothing. We used to have textile companies all over the place in Kaduna. Aba people used to, you can sew anything. Why are they not being encouraged? Footwear. All manufacturing companies used to be there. They've all died. This is not anything. We can do the same thing. I go to one state after the other. They are waiting to share money from oil. A diminishing assets. Everybody is every day saying that they don't want these assets. Something that is already dead. Okay, look at it. A diminishing assets, everybody knows that in the next few years, nobody will need it. Venezuela have 10 times Nigerian reserve. If oil have not saved Venezuela, it won't save Nigeria. You people are in America. The biggest economy in America is not Texas. They're not number one. They're not number two. They're not number three. I'm not even sure. Maybe 3 or 4. It is California. And what is powering California? Agriculture and knowledge. This we have in abundance. We don't know what to do with the vast land that we have in the north. I went to Niger State. They're complaining to me they're not getting enough allocation from the federal government resources. And I said to the governor, you don't know what you're talking. You're sitting on 76.3 thousand square kilometers of land. That is 2.5 times the size of Netherlands. Netherlands is minus water is about 3,000 square kilometers. Last year, the total agricultural export is $120 billion. Imagine if Niger State can feed themselves, feed Nigeria, and export just 1% of that is $1.2 billion. At my rate, 750 billion naira, 5 times their budget, but they are waiting for money from oil for 3,000 a month. When they have facilities that can give them 50 billion every month. Because that's what they are doing to you. So you are sending money to your relations who are not doing anything. No. We want them to be factory workers. So when your money goes there, it becomes an investment It's a win-win. They are getting something, you're getting something. Because they're not doing anything, even if you send money today for them to build your house, they'll eat it. That must stop. Nigeria must be a productive country. That's what you do here. Do you see any free food anywhere here? Who will give you? If you make mistake, you end up in police now. If you still eat free food. So why will you encourage what you encourage? That is what we are begging you. That is what we are going around to tell you to help. Help. Become an advocate. Help us in the advocacy. Put in whatever resources you have in what we are doing for us to change it. That's not, it doesn't, nothing. Be part of it. In a conclusion, before we ask questions, even when we succeed, don't go away. Don't go away. Because that's the part of the problem. Sooner you elect Peter Obi, then you go home and say, okay, Peter Obi goes there and start answering His Excellency. While he was preaching, he said, oh, we are going to move from point A to B. When he goes there, he start telling you people what I saw when I went in. Not, we don't want him. Everything he needs to see, I've seen it now. So I know what we want to. All we say is, Peter, go there. If you say you're going to move this country from 4,000 to 10,000 power, if you get to 8 and you're telling us we don't, yes, you might not have 100% result, but 100% effort. We want to say it. We want to know that you are in that direction we agreed to go. Don't go and wait. Once you hear Peter saying what you saw, you say, please, don't see anything. Please go. So that we can bring somebody who will be seeing what we know, where we know we are going. Because sooner Peter goes in there, start giving you people excuse, then you people start understanding him. Oh, maybe it's difficult. It's my tribe. Oh, they're trying to remove him because he's from Igbo. He's an Igbo man. That's why they're against him. Oh, they're trying to. No. Go and tell that Peter says a lie. I've been governor of Anambra State for 8 years. Go and tell anybody. No Anambra elite was happy with me. Somebody said it here now because he knows. And I can tell you people, if we succeed, you're not going to be happy with me. But I'm not promising anybody happiness. It's not a happy time. Anybody who wants happy people can go and look for entertainers and comedians. The job is to start fixing Nigeria. And you will see it be happening consistently. No division, no destiny. And we're going to assemble people to make sure. That's why I say don't go away. Because I want to come back and start telling you, not coming back to tell you excuse. Why this did not happen? Why this one? No. I'm contesting to be president of Nigeria. Do not vote for me. Because I'm an Igbo man. No. Don't vote for me. I say because I'm an Igbo man. I've asked people in the north, is there anywhere Northerners buy bread cheaper? No. Is there any road you people build that only Northerners pass? No. Is there where Northerners have uninterrupted electricity? No. I've gone to Southwest, the same thing. I've gone to Southeast, the same thing. It is elite conspiracy. A criminal conspiracy to keep the country down. And from North and from East. No. We don't want to hear it again. It is enough. Tell us what you will do. Leave your religion. We are not running church. We are running a country. It's not going to be about connection. I don't want to be connected to anybody. If you look at everywhere I've gone, I refuse them to read out my CV. I have a reasonably good CV, but I refuse them. In Toronto, they insisted, "Oh, Peter, people want to know, you were in Oxford, you were in Cambridge." I said, "No CV. Educational qualification is not a measure of integrity." We are looking for those who will not steal our money again. And it has nothing to do with educational qualification, because there's thief equally among those people who have PhD. There's some, like part of Tommy, who have it without stealing. There's some who steal. So we want to remove certificates. Everything will come back when things start going well. We'll bring them to the table. That's what we want to do. We now want to see that change come. We want to make it work, because it has worked in other countries. So it's not something that is impossible. That is why we want it to work in our place. That's why I said, when we succeed, don't go away. Stay there. Be the gadfly to know when the wife started wearing the type of diamond they were not wearing before, and say, something has changed. Where did this woman get the money buying this? Because this is a confusion we create. The wife will now start wearing something he's not been wearing before. And everybody says, gorgeous, but it's our money. We want the money to go to school. We want to put it in education of our children. We have now overtaken India in infant mortality. A country of 1.4 billion, a country of 200 million have overtaken them. We want it to go in saving the life of our children, not for the wife to be wearing diamond. There's no amount of diamonds, sorry, you will wear for that poor country that will make you a rich country. No. So it's time to remove all sort of gorgeous dressing and face school, face health, face everything. That's what we want to kill. Celebrations have to stop, because there's nothing to celebrate. It will come back when we have fixed the system. That's what we want to do. I'm extremely appreciative of your time this evening. But remember, you have no other country except this one called Nigeria. Even if you like, be a citizen of America, Japan, Britain combined. They will still ask you in a form you feel your original, and you put Nigeria. While you say where you nationalize, you must say where you started this journey. So since you are going to say it, election 2023, remember what I said, will not be about tribe, religion,
and families. Thank you. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and families. Thank you.